Does everybody in this room have a Google Cardboard with them? Can I see them? Our next session is going to be very interactive, very fun. Okay. Most of you have them. And we're live streaming now? Yep.
Yes.
Okay. So we're live streaming, people. It's a couple of minutes ago, we're live streaming on a YouTube link. You can see it here. So you can invite your friends. They have a Google Cardboard with them. They can actually walk around at today's event with a 360 VR technology. And I'll present myself again for those people tuning in. My name is Lou. That's L-O-U. I know many of you might have seen my name. And to your surprise, I am not an AI robot. I know those were many emails inviting you today here. But I am a real person. I promise. So, up next, I want to present to you I told you earlier today that we were going to do many challenges. So, our first challenge is the love declaration. This love declaration is for a game. It's for a game, and you do have to hashtag BuzzWorkshop. And whoever does the best love declaration for their favorite game will have a very cool prize. It is a voucher worth almost £200 for you to download. We have many of these. So that's your first challenge. You have 2 hours. Now, do continue to tweet, guys. Let's try to reach 200 tweets today. We want to see 200 tweets today of everyone. Don't miss the opportunity to have a really cool Nexus player. And so yeah, fill out your surveys. So on your booklets today, you received inside a survey. We want to know what you like. What you liked from the event, what you disliked. I know the food was really good, so, right? Yeah, I liked the food. It was really good. And so we will have a draft at the end of the day, and when you turn in your surveys, you will enter to participate. Now, nowadays, VR is so popular, so this next session is going to be all about VR. And to talk about this, let's give a round of applause to Marco Colombo.
Hello. Is it working? Yes, it is. Hello, everyone. Thanks for the warm introduction. It was great. The the clicker. Yes, this mouse. I can use the computer if not. Oh, okay. Right. Sorry. Hello, everyone. Really excited. There's a lot of people today. So thank you to Intel's Workshop for having me here today. I'm very excited about talking about virtual reality and my personal experience and giving advice if I can, like, being humble enough to give you some advice made by my experience. On the project that I worked on and so on. I'm just going to give you a quick introduction about myself. Just going to introduce. My name is Marco. I'm a computer engineer. So I don't like to call myself a developer because I think it's a little too reductive. A computer engineer is an engineer. So as Mr. Wolf here, I solve problems. That's what I do. I worked in many companies around Europe since the last 5 or 6 years, and I'm very lucky to be in the game industry. So I'm blessed with this, and I have a background in game development. And on top of that, which is completely disconnected, but I think it's very, very important, and I'm very, very passionate about it. I'm a Scrum Master. I love Agile methodologies. And if you don't know about it, please ask me or search online. It's something that I really think is super powerful and helpful for everybody. So, moving next. The current status of VR. So, where are we standing right now on virtual reality? I'm having speeches like this like for the last year. So, I'm reusing a lot of the slides. So, if you listen to the talks before, you're probably going to see the same things. But there's always something new to talk about because like this is a very changing technology. It's very young, and there is a lot of things like popping out, new platforms, new headsets, new things constantly, and the hype is getting higher and higher. By this, I want to make just a quick note. I'm not like a VR fanatic, as actually Ed was saying in the beginning. If you heard the speech, which was great, by the way. I stand in the middle, like him. Like there is no, oh yeah, it's gonna change everything, or nah, it's gonna fail for sure. It's gonna be another like guess to hit the markets and fail. Like no, I'm standing in the middle. What I say is like it's very interesting. There is a lot of potential for new, interesting products over there, and there is room for everybody. So why not jumping in? That's what I say. So this year was supposed to be the VR boom, and it was actually because. If you follow the VR scene for the last 2 years, they were saying like, yeah, 2016 is going to be the year. 2016. And actually a lot of things happened so far, like during this year, especially in the first quarter. So companies like Oculus released the Rift and the Gear VR, for example. Valve has the HTC Vive finally available. I'm not going to discuss about prices and stuff here. I'm just going to make just point out facts. And Sony finally announced PSVR, it's going to be available by the end of the year. And Google also has this thing right now coming up called Daydream, which is pretty sweet in my opinion. It's good to look into it. I think it works. But what is also more interesting is the platforms. Like it's not just about like the headsets. It's not just about okay, we have a new headset that allows you to have eye tracking and things like that. But no, it's more about also the software behind it. It's about the platforms, so the places where they host content. So Gear VR Store and the Oculus Share, and obviously for Oculus, Facebook, which is their focus. They are pointing to the metaverse. There is some really interesting thing going on over there. HTC Vive obviously has Steam VR, PlayStation VR has PlayStation Store, they know how to reach people. And Google didn't just make something like the Google Play Store, didn't just use the Google Play Store, but it opened the doors to YouTube 360, which is a huge opportunity for people to play around just with videos, for example. So this is interesting. It reminds me of what happened like back then with the iPhone. It wasn't the phone itself that actually changed everything. What was a game changer was the App Store. Because like it made your phone being whatever you wanted, just being connected to the internet. So if you have content and you drop it in a single place, you have if you own that platform, you won. You're done. That's it. So it's very interesting to see how they are actually promoting their platform as well. Like something like that is happening again, in my opinion. But anyway, also fact, VR and AR content right now is sky high. There are literally companies like throwing money at you if you want to do VR stuff. Sometimes they don't even know what they want. They just want VR. So I wanted to show you quickly a project that I worked on in a company that I worked here in London, which is called the Cell VR, and it's the first full body motion tracking VR experience. Together with Audio Motion, I don't know if you know them, but they are like leading company in mocap, so motion capture animations. They do mocap for FIFA games or like Far Cry 3 and they did stuff like that. So they're experts, real experts. We paired our expertise to make this thing, which I hope you can enjoy. It's a 3-minute video. Very good.
My name is Luke Master. I'm head of VR Visualize, and we're here at Wire 2015 showing Cell, which is the world's first full-body motion capture VR experience. This project has been a collaboration between Visualize and Audio Motion Studios, and Audio Motion is a motion capture studio based in Oxford. It was a very complicated project, and we actually made it in a record time, I would say. It took us 2 months to 3 months to develop it all, but the active time of development was more or less 1 month, 1 month and a half. The creative process was changing constantly because we were facing a lot of technical issues. And in the end, we managed to find balance in between comfortable experience and a fun experience, and something that we were actually able to do because there were so many challenges that we overcome. In order to make this experience work, we're using Vicon motion capture cameras that shoot infrared light out, and then that infrared light bounces off these rigid body tracker monitors. And so the system is able to, by seeing where the different stops are and seeing how they move, they can figure out where the position is in space. Audio-wise, we have 8 powered built-in Bluetooth speakers, and each of these speakers is hooked up to Henrik's audio mixing station, and so he's able to mix all of the audio in real time. We have positional audio working with the sound effects, so you hear a sound field around you, you hear things in directions. This has been an absolutely awesome experience with Wire. I'm super proud of the whole team for all the work they put into making this experience happen, and I'm really looking forward to coming back next year and taking it up.
At the moment, the experience requires just a couple of simple steps, but require a lot of interactions and movement, and this is what people want to try. They want to see their body inside the experience. They want to experience their movement in real life, translated into the virtual reality world. All things were rushing, but we managed to make an amazing product, and everybody was just mind blown by it.
That was it. Like, it was a very interesting experience, and obviously it's not like the most user-friendly experience. As you can see, we were like all wired up and so on, but also for security reasons. Still, the amazing thing is that people that never tried VR before were just like completely fine with every movement. In 2 seconds, they could like just like move around and be completely like fine with what they were doing. So it's a very interesting thing that you have to consider if you make a VR application. Moving to another subject, the mobile golden age. So what is happening here, like with mobile? Like, mobile is a reality. Mobile is something that is there and it's like hitting the market hard. And I'm not going to say like, yeah, phones are actually selling a lot. Well, then mobile is ruining. No, there are some facts. Especially, I'm a game developer, so I talk about games. Let's talk about business facts that are related to games. A lot of companies, even companies that you never thought they would have moved to mobile, are actually moving to mobile. So a couple of super quick examples, like Nintendo, opened the door with that, like with Miitomo and with the upcoming Pokemon Go. Activision Blizzard bought King. These kind of guys were doing completely different things, but they are actually keeping an eye on mobile. So I guess what I'm trying to say is like, consider mobile as your as one of your opportunities to hit the market with your product. By this, please don't get me wrong. Don't take this message as like, don't do desktop, because that's not what I mean. I'm just saying, focusing on desktop and just on desktop could cut out a lot of of marketplace. Then again, your product is your product, and never change that. I'm just trying to say, consider that, because it's a very good opportunity. So also HTML5 and is like everywhere. YouTube just moved to HTML5 straight after technology was taking up. AR products are also like very interesting. What I think in the future could actually take over everything is Magically, which we will invest a lot of money in, and we're going to see what happens. But obviously nobody has a crystal ball here. You don't know what's going to happen. But it's good to take an eye, keep an eye on what's going on the business side as well. So try to follow the trends, to try to understand what companies is buying what other company, what the company that's been bought is doing. So for example, are they working on active feedback? So something is going on there. It's interesting, and it gives you a perspective of what is going on, and maybe what is going to happen in the future. For all these reasons, Unity. So I am, yeah. By the end, maybe, because I have a really, really short time. But yes, please, you should have a speech. So yeah, I love Unity. I'm using Unity, and I've been using Unity for a long time. And obviously, it's not like the only thing out there. Like I'm not saying that it's the only option. Sometimes it can be limited, but it depends on what you want to do. And to me, as an indie game developer, this is the best option you have for many reasons. It's versatile, it's accessible, you can use it for a lot of things. It was designed to be cross-platform since the very beginning. So, unlike other engines, it was born as a multi-platform supported engine, which is what you want if you want to make a cross-platform game, for example. The community is massive, and this is important, especially when you're looking to solutions, or you want to give a feedback to improve that. So I worked in several engines so far, also in HTML5, for example, and I was like, okay, which one should I pick? One of my boxes to tick was like, how big is the community? So how can I actually rely on people that have skills and are sharing about this? Like, if there are a few of them, maybe I'm not going to dig into that, because I'm going to get stuck with that, and nobody's going to help me. A real-time game windows in Unity, for example, is amazing. It's really, really powerful, and it's very useful for VR as well. So you can actually have, let's say, a DK2 as a debug device for your VR games, but then you can build for your VR, and it's okay, because like you still gonna try to see how it looks in-game, in the editor. You don't have to build. After you're satisfied, you can build and see how it looks like. So very, very powerful. Also, Unity is keeping a close eye on VR. And this is also a good thing, because there are so many platforms out there that are going to come out, as I was saying before. And just straight out GDC 2016, these are just some of the technologies that they're going to support, which is not bad. Like, I mean, there's pretty good coverage over there. And if something else come out, I'm pretty sure they're going to start to look into that as well. So they see the potential of that. Now, when you develop, it would be nice to have a system to rule them all, as I said. So we have so many platforms like Windows. Actually, let's start from even above desktop mobile, and then from desktop mobile you have, I don't know, Mac PC, and then you have Android, and then you have iOS, and then you have Windows Phone. And now let's add an extra layer of complexity over there, because like things are never too hard for us developers, which is the visual platform, what I call visual platform. So is the headset that you're going to use to develop your game, is the SDK that you're going to use to interact with that, and so on. So what I came out with, and I'm still working on that, I've always worked on that, is what I call a cross-visual platform solution, or framework, up to you. I'm working on this project site with the development of my games, and every time I finish a game or I'm satisfied with the status of it, I just go back on the framework and improve it. So the important thing to make something like that is to abstract. So if you are developers here, maybe you know what I'm talking about, we want to actually try to look at things at a higher level and try to say, okay, I want to make a game here, perfect. Where I'm going to develop it. I mean, for what I'm going to develop it. For DK2, for VR, for both. Maybe I want to introduce cardboard as well, yeah, why not? But, damn it, I don't have the interaction on cardboard if I don't have a controller, for example. So actually, we have to think about those things and say, like, all right, you know what? Like, I'm gonna abstract the input system and make it like separated from it. Like, I'm just gonna focus on what is the input of my game, and then when I develop for VR, I'm gonna use its input system. Same goes for the way you actually check, like render the experience in your visor, or also on desktop. Why not? So I put the desktop there as well, because maybe you want to have a game that allows you to actually play the game also not in VR. You want to have the same game running also on a desktop, and use your mouse and keyboard. Why not? So what I developed is something I'm going to talk to you like in a couple of seconds, but the advice for CVP or cross-visual platform in development On a generic level is this. Like first of all, yes, I recommend to take advantage of Unity because, as I said, for example, inspecting your game in the game window and in the VR headset is very powerful. VR is a very young technology, so be ready to tackle lots of changes and update SDKs and change everything constantly. So it's not easy, guys. Like it's very complicated and takes a lot of your mental health, but it's all right as long as you are aware of what you're doing and obviously you're passionate about it and you like it. So I take again the point that Ed was pointing, like be happy with what you're doing, like be passionate about it and just chase it, do stuff. That's very important. Also, build your own tools, or VR tools, or in this case, CDP tools, or whatever you want to call it, guys. Like everybody can come up with like names now. There is no right and wrong for this. So when you actually make a game or something, you're like, oh yeah, you know what? Like last time I lacked this functionality in my game. I'm gonna build something that is gonna help me for all the next future games that I'm gonna make. And this is your framework, coming over. I think it's a very, very important thing. And it takes some time and maybe some focus from your game, but it's very beneficial, guys. Also, try to create a very solid test or debugging environment. So, if you know how you want to debug your game, and you know what the information that you want to display constantly, tools like the Intel software that we were showing before, stuff like that, are very helpful because you can rely on those things and you can create your own to simplify your life. So you want to actually be fast, efficient when you make a game, and you don't want to get stuck with like things that are always going to annoy you. Then, an advice for the framework itself, actually. So base your framework on experience, as I said. Like every time you make a game, and you're like, yeah, that thing missed last time, put it in. Like find those common patterns and always update your framework. Keep it up to date constantly. Lose some time with that. It's important. Also, abstractions and reusability. So while you're making a game, think in advance, and this is very tricky, don't get me wrong, think in advance, how am I going to interact with this game? Like, is it, and if I do it this way, will it actually work on mobile? Well, maybe I have to change it a little bit. That. Or maybe you're like, you know what, nah, I don't want to support mobile, I'm just going to do it just because I think it's the right choice. But don't, trust your choices on that. Don't just say like, no, I'm not going to support mobile because that's a challenge. You have to be very, very keen on what you do. And sometimes, yeah, it takes time and a lot of effort, but again, your idea has to be changed constantly. So I find a modular and event-based approach very helpful, so I tend to decouple all the responsibilities of what happens in the game, and sometimes I embed them in my framework, so I have managers that do everything for me. So I have a scene manager, I have audio manager, and input manager that works cross-visual platforms. So I just have to say, when you do, confirm, and it works on every platform. And what I do, I send events from the game to the managers, and the manager is going to be like, somebody sent me an event, it confirmed something, but which platforms I'm running on? Oh, this one. And okay, you confirmed on this button, okay, I'm telling you back what you have to do. And this is great, because like, then I don't have to worry about this anymore. When I make another game, I'm like, yes, confirmed, done. Sounds as easy, but it's not. It takes a lot of time, but still, I think it was the effort. Automation. I find it also very helpful. Like I create plugins constantly or things that allow me to be fast in what I do, also on the automation side. So sometimes, I don't know, I want to have the same input happening 1,000 times because I have to twice test. I'm a game developer by myself. I have no QA, so I can't rely on that thing. I have to rely on code, which is what I can do. So this is just an example, but everything that you think could be automated, do it. Like it's going to save you a lot of time. And it's going to help you out. Could be also like hitting you in the back if you are not careful, but worth considering it. Worth considering, like trying at least to have a go with that. And if it doesn't work, it's fine. But my suggestion is try. Try to identify what you can automate. Also, iterations on the framework are very important. So after, as I said, every time I finish a game, go back on the framework. I won't stress enough if possible. Because it's important to keep it up for what you learned before, always. So this is the visual platform that I created, the cross-visual platform framework that I did. The icon sucks, I I'm no artist, and I do my best. But anyway, like yes, this is a cross-visual platform framework that allows me to develop the game once for every platform. So I just like go here and say yes, pick a new visual platform, build for that, and these allows me to test locally things that are multiplayer, for example. So I just simulate that I am running on a client server thing, but I'm actually not, and stuff like that. Again, these could be actually like reshaped anytime you want and the way you want, and so on. So this is just like it's all obviously all constantly under development, like as I said, constantly open. Maybe I'm going to release it open source. I want to, just like I don't think it's ready yet. So I have to perfection it a little more before I do that. But also for your game, I'm going to be super fast with that 5 minutes. So VR games, especially, are tricky. Strafe, rotations on the spot, bad. It's going to bring you motion sickness. Try to rethink about the way you interact with your game because it could cut out some marketplace, like for people that are not really used to VR. So there are some things that you can do and some things that you shouldn't do in VR. This is one of them. Don't strafe, don't rotate on the spot if you're not actually not rotating for real. Also, smart UI system is very important, and it's very tricky also to make because of lots of like problems on the vision that you have, and especially for some devices, FPS has to be flawless. So I heard that Sony, for example, for PSVR requires you to have 60 FPS stable. You can't go under that. If you don't meet that, you're out. Your game is not going to be in that. Anyway, also make it immersive. It's very important to feel that what you do is very, very, intuitive, and everybody could pick it up and fast, because this is how you make an application working very well. This is why I think Vive products are great, because little baby can just just take the things and interact with them. I see like very young kids and old people trying it and understand what they have to do. As Ed said this morning, fail is not bad. Like 100 times failing and then one success is a great thing. Don't be scared of failing. Don't be scared of making a mess, because this is how you learn. This is how you actually say like, all right, I see what I don't have to do next time. I know it sounds like cliche, but it's true, guys. Like it's very, very rare to succeed the first time, and this is why you have to constantly try, and don't be scared about it. And last but not least, be inspired. Try to be inspired by the world around you. I do. Sometimes even like the most simple thing that I do in my everyday life, like getting a cup and it fails, it breaks, and it's like, oh, wait a second. If I actually introduce this mechanic, could be actually pretty good in VR. Let's try it out. It's actually something that is really interesting. If you're inspired and you're like keeping an eye on what you actually want to create, also things that you sometimes don't notice, would really help you out, guys. One last thing, Agile. As I said, Scrum is just one of the frameworks. You can use whatever you want, but try to be agile. If you don't know what it is, check it out. It simplifies the life of everybody. It can optimize your time and the quality of your products. You have to know what you have to do, though. And it's complicated. I'm not saying that it's not easy. And it can definitely, it fits for teams, so not for individuals, but you still can take advantage of those nice concepts in your own projects. I personally use Scrum for the game that I developed, which I'm gonna talk to you like in 1 second, just super quick video. I have some tools here that you probably already know. Like these are very, very famous tools and free, but you can dig into those things. There is no right tool or wrong tool. Everything that fits your need and your skills and what you think it's good for you, it's yours. That's what you have to do. This is just like a suggestion for what I really like. So I used Scrum and these tools to create the game that I used to compete in the Oculus Mobile VR Jam last year. The biggest global jam, sorry, from Oculus and Samsung last year. They called like 500 people for the first round, so thousands of submissions from all around the world. They got 500, and then they got into the finals with 37 finalists, and Danfield was one of them. So I was like super proud of it. John Carmack himself actually played this game and made it thought it was worth of the finals. So I didn't win anything, but I'm alright. I am very, very happy about it. I have it with me today. I'm going to compete with Danfields tonight. Please come and have a play. Check it out on Facebook. And if you have a Gear VR, download it. It's for free. This is the trailer, and then I'm going to go. Promise.